Hi everyone and welcome to Tickling Tuesday number 1. This will be a series where I will try to tickle your mojo. A few days ago I showed a card on my blog and I've been asked a few times how I created that card. So I will be making a similar card with the same technique today. I started out with a white card base, it's just some white cardstock, and with my silhouette Camilla that I got for Christmas I cut out some stencils from acetate sheets. So I will be using one of those stencils. I've never used it before, and I use some post-it tape to adhere that to the front of the card, and I want to make sure that the stencil is really close to the card so there's not much space left in between. So I adhere that down on all 4 sides. And also cover the edges of the card to make sure I don't smear my modeling paste onto my working surface. So I used some modeling paste and just smeared that onto that card front, just a tiny bit, and I didn't do it very carefully, so I just wanted some kind of a random shape. And then I peeled the post-it tape off, and you can see I keep that for a later project, so I don't throw that away. I peel the mask off and I just clean the mask. And you can see, of course, my surface was not clean anymore. So I just wipe that with a wet cloth. And then I heat set the embossing paste with my heat gun. And now I made sure the stencil was in the same place again. So the paste is dry and the stencil is clean, and it covers the same area again. And then I took out my distress stains in some rainbow colors. This is something I did by accident. I picked some distress stains and when I bought them, and I found out it was like a rainbow. So I went for the rainbow colors, and then I realized, oh no, I had mixed up the pink and the red. The red should be between the pink and the orange. So I went in again with the same colors and tried to change the red into a pink and the pink into a red, which did not work perfectly, but I'm fine with that. The problem is, you will see that later, I used so much of that ink that it you can see that it went under that stencil. So you have to be a little more careful. What we will do now is, in my intro you could see I wrote trial and error, so this was kind of an error, and we will cover that. That's it. I picked the Paper Smooches a Little Lovin' stamp set. I love that a lot, and I love those elephants for baby cards. I could make baby cards with those elephants all the time. So I stamped that with my Memento black ink, and then I set that aside to dry because the Memento takes a moment to be really dry if you use your markers. I picked a piece of black cardstock to cover the the splotches a little bit with the sentiment. So we will be using white embossing on the black cardstock. I used the Welcome Baby stamp from the same stamp set, and the white embossing powder, the White Hero Arts embossing powder. And I found out that the White Hero Arts embossing powder is even better than the Zing. I love my Zing embossing powder, but because everyone was so excited about the Hero Arts stuff, I tried it out, and I have to say it melts even smoother. So I really like the surface when this is melted. I cut a V shape to both ends of that little sentiment banner. And then I adhered that with some dimensional adhesives to my card front. You can see I just tried to cover the splotches as good as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect because we don't have a perfect shape anyway. We don't have a perfect rainbow. It's just to make it look a little nicer. And then I took out my markers and colored the little elephants. I usually take some shades of warm grey when I color them in. Which is like a little, yes, it's a mixture of brown and grey, and I really love the warm greys for those elephants. But in this case we had the rainbow and the black, so I wanted to keep it a very, to keep it a little more simple. So I just used the neutral grays, which are cold grays in this case. And I tried to find out where the shadows would be and also have some lights. And in the end I took a white marker to cover the areas that should not be grey, and also to add some highlights. Then I cut that out with my scissors. I love images that are easy to cut out. And I also adhered that with some dimension adhesives to the card front. And I often use those tiny squares, those tiny foam squares, because they are very cheap. I think I get 400 of those for 22 cents, which is, I don't know, about 30 cents in America, maybe. And I really love them because they are very thick. So they are cheap, they are thick, I use them a lot. Then I rounded the corners with my corner jumper, and to add some more details I picked some aqua colored wood veneer stars, and I just looked something up. If we want to buy some Studio Calico wood veneers here in Germany, we have to pay €4.50, which is like $6.12 in the US. So really they are very expensive here. So I'm really happy I found those cheap little wood veneers from a Dutch shop in Germany. So I adhered them with my tape runner that I use for nearly everything because it's cheap and it's sticky, and that finished the card for today. So I hope you got inspired and your mojo was tickled, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching!